February, the second month of the year. The second principle is belief. We learn to surrender in step 1. Now we are honing in on the belief in a higher power. We come to believe. First, we'll start with a Serenity prayer. Today's reading from the 24 Hours a Day book, a share, then the reading again in case you got distracted. Carpe the diem. Enjoy. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Grant me patience with the struggles that take time, and appreciation for all that I have, tolerance of those with different struggles, and the strength to get up and try again, one day at a time. Consider, do we have any doubt that drinking is never fun for us? Do we know we have a lifeline to our higher power? February 9th, thought for the day. In the past, we kept right on drinking in spite of all the trouble we got into. We were foolish enough to believe that drinking could still be fun in spite of everything that happened to us. When we came into Alcoholics Anonymous, we found a lot of people who, like ourselves, had had fun with drinking, but who now admitted that liquor had become nothing but trouble for them. And when we found that this thing had happened to a lot of other people beside ourselves, we realized that perhaps we weren't such queer birds after all. Have I learned to admit that for me drinking has ceased to be fun and has become nothing but trouble? Meditation for the day. The lifeline, the line of rescue, is the line from the soul to God. On one end of the lifeline is our faith, and on the other end is God's power. It can be a strong line, and no soul can be overwhelmed who is linked to God by it. I will trust in this lifeline and never be afraid. God will save me from doing wrong and from the cares and troubles of life. I will look to God for help and trust Him for aid when I am emotionally upset. Prayer for the day. I pray that no lack of trust or fearfulness will make me disloyal to God. I pray that I may keep a strong hold on the lifeline of faith. Drinking was a common pastime for many people, and many believed that it was a way to have fun and escape from their problems. However, for us alcoholics, drinking became a source of trouble and problems rather than a source of joy and entertainment. When some of us came into Alcoholics Anonymous, we were looking for a solution to the problems that drinking had caused us. We felt ashamed, embarrassed, and alone, and we felt that there is no hope for us to overcome our drinking problem. Then we found that there are many others who have gone through the exact same experiences. They felt the same way. We are able to see that there is hope for us. This is a powerful motivator for us who are trying to overcome our drinking problem. With that, the door of willingness is cracked open enough for the working of the steps to begin. We know we are powerless, and we know that those that came before us have found the spiritual solution outlined in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. The lifeline is not just a line of rescue, but also a line of strength. By relying on this connection to God, our higher power, we find the courage and determination to overcome our difficulties and achieve our goals. This strength can be especially important in times of stress and uncertainty, when it can be tempting to give up or feel overwhelmed. By holding on to the lifeline and trusting in our higher power, we find the resilience and determination we need to succeed. Consider, do we have any doubt that drinking is never fun for us? Do we know we have a lifeline to our higher power? February 9th, thought for the day. In the past, we kept right on drinking in spite of all the trouble we got into. We were foolish enough to believe that drinking could still be fun in spite of everything that happened to us. When we came into Alcoholics Anonymous, we found a lot of people who, like ourselves, had had fun with drinking, but who now admitted that liquor had become nothing but trouble for them. And when we found that this thing had happened to a lot of other people beside ourselves, we realized that perhaps we weren't such queer birds after all. Have I learned to admit that for me drinking has ceased to be fun and has become nothing but trouble? Meditation for the day. The lifeline, the line of rescue, is the line from the soul to God. On one end of the lifeline is our faith, and on the other end is God's power. It can be a strong line, and no soul can be overwhelmed who is linked to God by it. I will trust in this lifeline and never be afraid. God will save me from doing wrong and from the cares and troubles of life. I will look to God for help and trust Him for aid when I am emotionally upset. Prayer for the day. I pray that no lack of trust or fearfulness will make me disloyal to God. I pray that I may keep a strong hold on the lifeline of faith. Please subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching.